Hey Royals, this is Mademoiselle Mosley again. This is the last one for tonight. Today it's after 12. Anyway, I want to help y'all to realize something. And I hope this helps you, and I hope if this is not happening to you in your life, I hope if it ever comes that you'll know that you're not the only one and you need to understand this thing that I'm about to tell you. Your enemy can be born within your own camp, your own family. I call it the camp. And sometimes you don't find out till later on in life that all these people were behind the scenes manipulating and plotting you and puppeteering you into the aspect of the view of life because they didn't want you to have the good life. So they made you this toxic person, this bad, stinking way of thinking, and the results that you've gotten. They wanted you to be miserable and unhappy. That is hard to imagine, but the enemy can be born within your own camp. You be expecting the people on the outside, you know what I'm saying, across the way, to be your enemy because they're not personal with you. So they may have a different view of you. But for somebody to view you and declare you as an enemy within your own camp and knowing the possibilities of your life and make every one of your possibilities not possible through the direction that they're leading you in. Let me get to it. So your enemy can be born within your own camp or even through your own body. Some of your enemies are your children. Yes. You pushed out of your body. Or men, the seed that you used to put in this woman's body, this very seed that came out of this woman's body could actually be your enemy. Let me get a little deeper. And it's really depending on who you breed it with. That's why it's very important, us as women, you as men, to know who you breeding with. I learned that the hard way. Nobody never talked to me like this. That's why I'm talking to y'all like this. And you go talk to your children like this. Or young people, if you listening to what I'm saying, it does matter who you breed with. Sometimes you're breeding and sleeping with the enemy. Or somebody that's a friend of me. You understand? That's what I'm trying to tell you. You have all these struggles and strife with this woman or this man. They already had a master plan to put you through this. So your enemy can also be birthed through you. And that's why it's so painful for someone you kin to or birth through. Your mother or your father could be your enemy. They pushed you out. You feel me? She pushed you out. She your enemy. You don't know what bloodline you mixing with. And we take it personal because the titles. But who you breed it with. And I'm going to use this, and this has a similarity, but this is not what I'm saying. I'm not calling anybody a dog. But if you take two dogs and you breed two of the wrong breeds of dogs together, they probably gonna be crazy. Especially if the internal way that they are in totally opposite. The dog might look cute, but it's crazy. I'm just saying. Let me finish this thing. So it's painful for someone you kin to or birthed through, or who birthed you turns on you. Just like I'm saying about them dogs. Sometimes you raise them dogs and all this stuff, then they mess around and turn on you. And you be like, I was good to this dog. You know, I was good to this person. But it doesn't matter if you were good or bad. The breed of the person was not good. So no matter how much good you did, they was going to always turn bad. That's who they were. That's who they are. But like I said, we can be redeemed. And after giving them the best of you, and when you actually have ears to hear it and eyes to see it, the devastation of it is hard to forget. After you realize and you see the plan that they had for you, it's devastating. It's devastating because of the title that they held. Your cousin, your husband, your wife, your son, your daughter. Those are titles. But under those titles, it's a personality. This is what I say. Your child, your mother, your father, you might come from the same family. You might be kin, but it doesn't mean you're kin from within. See, different heart, different mind. It doesn't matter about the bloodline. They try to make it matter. They try to say, "Oh well, I'm your grandmother. I'm your aunt. I don't give a damn. If you doing me wrong, get gone." I'm telling you, it ain't easy to do. But it's either them or you. You gonna give up you for them? Let's do this. So let's move on. So the devastation is hard to forget because of the title they hold. A lot of us, like I said earlier, have slept with the enemy. That turned out to be a frenemy that had access to me and to you. I'm just being real about the view that I understand now, that I went through. I'm just trying to tell you, trying to help you to understand that your enemy can be born in your own camp. But God allowed it so that you'll know, that you now are aware of it. See, now you're aware of that family structure. That just because it's a family don't mean the structure is built properly or that the structure is healthy. You can build a house, and if you build a house with a bad structure, it's going to fall down. You want to stay in the house till it falls down, or you going to get out and you're going to save yourself and rebuild on a healthy aspect. Excuse me. But like I said, God allowed it so that now you're aware of it. You're aware of frenemies. You're aware of family. You're aware of all that stuff. And now you got to put it in its proper formation. You cannot let it tear you apart. And can't let it get to your heart, because it will turn you. But the choice was yours. The choice was yours. When you found out and you keep going back in there, you keep socializing with them and doing, the choice is yours. But he allowed you to learn the lesson. That's the blessing. Some people never see it. Some people never see their family. Some people never see their husband. Some people never see their wife, their children, their grandchildren. They never see them as who they really are. They see them for who they would like for them to be. So the blessing is that you learned the lesson. Like I said, as painful as it is or may seem, you woke up out of that bad dream. It was a bad dream. You woke up, people like, this could not be true. I know good and well my daddy didn't keep me from the love of my life because he never have a love of his life. I know my daddy didn't do that. I know he didn't do that. I know my aunt didn't lie on the man that I love so that because she never been loved. I know she didn't do it. I'm just saying some scenarios. But now, like I said, you think it was a bad dream, but now you see all the plots and the schemes. You see it. Don't try to ignore it. God is giving you the illumination of it to get the hell out of there. Okay? Now you see through the plots and schemes, but you will see what God means. You'll see exactly what God means when he said this in his word. He said, while you were sleeping, the enemy came and sowed tares amongst the wheat. Now, if you are sleeping, sleeping is an intimate aspect of life. So if you're sleeping around people, it's usually people you kin to, people you know. And while you're sleeping, he's planted tares amongst the wheat. Tares, you cannot consume them. The wheat is the good, but they grow together. They're in the same household. That's why you feel like you belong, because you grew up together. That does not mean that they want the best for you, because you grew up together. You and your brother, your sister. You grew up in the house with your mother, your father, your aunts, and your uncles. That don't mean they ain't plotting and scheming on you. See, a lot of people don't want the things that they didn't have for you to get them, so they'll lie to you and keep you from getting them. But once you find out the truth that they was plotting and scheming, you have to get away from them, because you finally, figured it out. Don't mean they ain't gonna stop figuring more things to do to you. Oh, I'm so sorry. They apologize. They just apologize because you found out. Because if they were sincere about it, now, and I'm just using this as an example, doesn't mean it's true. They were sincere about it. They'd be like, you know what, nephew, I lied on that young lady that you was asking me about. I knew she was good, but I didn't want, I just really didn't want you to be happy, because I ain't never had nobody to love me like she loved you. But listen to this. They said it before you found out about it. But once you found out about it without them saying anything to you, they would have never told you anything if you wouldn't have never found out about that thing. So you apologizing after I found out, that means you got another scheme, a plot, a plan coming. That's just how I feel. That means I'm done with you, because I don't want to have to second guess myself on somebody that's proven to me that you're not down for me. I'm good. Let me finish this thing. So, like I said, it says, while you were sleeping, the enemy planted sowed tares amongst the wheat. And the reason why you can't tell is because you look just like me. That's why you can't tell. See, a person is not like the tares. The tares are dark. It's like a black seed that is so embedded in the wheat till if you destroy the wheat, if you destroy the tare, you're going to destroy the wheat too. And the reason why we don't see the people in our life that is doing the things that they do, because they look just like me and they look just like you. So you can't decipher what they doing to you because the tear is inside of them. It's not on the outside. It's inside of them. And it's inside of them, and they planning your defeat with fabricated lies and deceit. You know what I thought about? Some people have some of the best people as beasts of burden. They go to work, they pay your damn bills, you feed them a meal. They go to work, they pay the damn meal, they pay the damn bills, you feed them a meal. They go to work, they pay the damn bills, and you feed them a meal. Just to keep them going. That's what they do to donkeys, asses. They feed them, they put them in the field, and that's the deal. Some people in your family are using you as a beast of burden. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to find anything outside of them. They want to put that fat, tight family ring around your collar. Like that commercial say, you try to scrubbing and soaking. It says, ring around the collar, ring around. They still around the collar of your shirt, causing dead rings around your neck. Because all you doing is going to work, paying the bills. They're making you a meal. That ain't no life. Anyway, let's finish this thing. So, because they look just like me, that means you can't see the black seed because it's on the inside, like I said earlier. And like I said, they're planning your defeat with fabrication of lies and deceit. But there shall be a time when the tares shall separate from the wheat. God always has a process of the separation where you'll find out exactly who you are and exactly who they are. And God will send people to tell you things, and then you'll go home and you'll tell them. They'll be like, oh, that's stupid. That don't even sound right. That ain't got nothing to do with you. That person is crazy. No. Somebody sees you outside of you being a mule. They know who you are. And your family is so afraid that you're going to find out that instead of you serving them, they should be serving you. But it takes God to change your view of how you view you. So I hope that helped y'all. Like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, get it before it gets you. I'm out.